Number 8, x over 5 minus 2 equals x over 3. So again, to get rid of our fractions, only look at the fractional terms. The 2 is understood to be over 1, so we're only concerned with the 5 and the 3. A common denominator is the number that both of these will divide into. So what will 3 and 5 both divide into? Well, the smallest number would be 15. So we would have 15 times x over 5 minus 15 times 2 equals 15 times x over 3. Okay, so again I'm going to stress it has to be the same number that you multiply by every term. With our fractions we're going to divide, so I would say 5 will go into 15 how many times? 3 times. So I multiply what's left over. 3 times x would be just 3x. 15 times 2 would be minus 30 equals, and then divide. 3 will go into 15 5 times. 5 times x would be 5x. So now no more fractions. Move all of the variables to one side. So I already have the 3x. I'm going to move the 5x over, which will make it negative 5x. Move the 30 to the right. It's a negative, so when I move it over, I'm going to have a positive. So I have all the variables on one side equal to the only number that we have. Positive 3 and negative 5 would be negative 2x equals 30. Divide by what's in front of your variable, so we divide by negative 2 on both sides. These divide out to be positive x. 30 divided by 2 by negative 2 would be negative 15. So my solution would be x is equal to negative 15. Okay, those are all of the fraction problems on the handout. The last 4 problems actually look like the ones we were doing in the earlier sections. Okay, so number 9, we have parentheses. We don't have any fractions that we have to get rid of, but we do have to clear parentheses first. So when I distribute, 3 times 5x would be 15x. 3 times negative 1 would be negative 3. Bring down negative 2 equals 13x plus 3. Okay, do we have like terms that we can combine? Okay, well if we look at the left side, I do have the negative 3 and the negative 2 that we can put together. So I would have 15x. When I combine, negative 3 and negative 5, or negative 2 would be negative 5. Everything else comes down. All the variables to one side, so that means I'm going to move the 13x over. It will become negative 13x. We already have a 3. I'm going to move the 5 to the right, which will make it a positive 5. And then we simplify. 15x minus 13x would be 2x. 3 plus 5 would be 8. And then our last step, divide by the coefficient of the variable. So when I divide by 2, I would get x is equal to positive 4, okay, which would be my solution. So again, this means if I were to go back and plug a 4 everywhere I have an x, then it should give me a true statement. This should be the number that makes the equation true. Okay, let's go ahead and look at number 10. These just give you a lot of practice on, combining like terms and simplifying. So this one's very similar. Distribute the 5. 5 times 3x would be 15x. 5 times negative 1 would be negative 5. Bring down everything else. We have like terms. Okay, and notice when you have like terms that are on the same side of the equal sign, you don't change the signs because we're not moving them over. we are just simply combining them just like they are. So a negative 5 and a positive 2 would be a negative 3. Everything else comes down. Move the variables to the left. So the 12x would be a negative 12x when I bring it over. 6 is positive. Move the 3 over, it will make it positive. 15 minus 12x would be 3x. 3 plus 6 would be 9. And then our last step, divide by the coefficient of x. So divide by 3. And this one's going to divide evenly. X is equal to 3. So that would be my solution.